Is this how you want to start the video?
What? I love you. They should know it. You bring me peace and joy.
Welcome back to the channel.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today, as you can tell, because I'm assuming you can all read, but if not, we're doing our 2023 financial review with a YNAB presentation. It is a YNAB presentation. I can't read either. It is what it is.
Every time you mispronounce a word, I immediately second guess if I've misspelled it. I'm like, is that not how you spell review? He does this to me a lot.
She wrote down somewhere that once that something was going nowhere, and I said now here, and it fucked with her so
It really
hard.
did. I was like, wait. I was like, that does say now here.
I just about broke her brain.
I love you, even if you are cruel to me.
You love it.
I saw this in the...
I'm witty and charming.
I saw this in the YNAB fans Facebook group. Now, Cody and I used to do something similar to this every month, where we would do, like, I would put together, like, a slideshow of, like, our monthly spending. But we haven't done one, I think, at all this year.
Yeah, it's been pretty hectic with life and just how disorganized and relatively undisciplined we are, because if I don't have to be on, I like to be all the way off. There's, like, no in between. So, yeah. We should maybe look into doing that again, though. Help us stay consistent and on it. I feel like those videos would be boring, but maybe it'll help me be extemporaneously funny.
Well, that'll be part of our debt payoff plan for 2024, which is in a different video.
Forthcoming. Okay. Stay tuned.
So
ring the bell if you'd like to find out when it happens.
Here is our summary of how we spent our money this past year. So income versus expenses. Our total annual take-home income after taxes and deductions and everything was $84,067.
That's it?
I can speak.
That's why I feel so broke all the time.
So an average of $9,300 a month. $7,600 a month was from employment, $681 was from our child tax benefit, and then about an average of $700 a month in miscellaneous income, which is typically like sometimes Etsy sales, although that's kind of kept separate in a business account, selling stuff, odd jobs, stuff like that.
Yeah. Random relatives that are like, happy birthday, here's money.
Now our annual expenses were $85,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We spent $1,000 more this year than we made, which makes me think we must have had more income. Oh, probably because YNAB's pulling from April to December. Because like a quarter of the way into the year, I was like, I'm going to do a budget burn down because I heard a YNAB podcast by Jesse, and I was like, that's a good idea. So we're missing the first like 3 months of income from the year out of all these numbers, which is why you'll see things like debt payments $8,400 averaging $943 a month. If you take $8,400 and divide it by 12 and go, that doesn't math. But that's because this is pulling for like 9 months or 8 months or whatever it winds up being. So moving right along.
Yes.
So debt payments are quite high, and they're going to increase in 2024. Moving, we spent just over $2,000. That was for gas, renting a truck, hiring help, getting a dolly, boxes, packing supplies, all of that stuff.
Fun fact, doing it ourselves was both more work and more expensive than hiring someone to do it for us, but we tried to save money, so we did it ourselves.
We hired help. We did have help.
Yeah.
But looking at that number, I'm like, we should have just hired a moving company.
Right?
Our bills, so this is not including our debt payments, so not our car payment or anything. This is just...
that's just the subscription to life.
Yeah, that's not even including subscriptions. That's like insurance and phone bills, internet, power, gas, water, rent. So bills.
Yeah,
it's bills.
The subscription to being alive.
So that's about $2,600 a month, $2,586 a month on average is what we spent. Subscriptions. I saw this number and I immediately was like, we need to figure out why, because $300 a month on average
It seems excessive. Does that include the Apple Care for our devices and stuff?
Yes, yeah, that's our Apple Care, our Apple One. It was Netflix, although we don't pay for that anymore. I'll go through it. We'll break it down.
Yeah, we'll break it down a little bit more. Yeah. But yeah.
Living expenses, $18,000.
Yeah.
An average of $2,000 a month. That's groceries, gas, consumables, so like paper towel, toilet paper. What else did we include in there? Diapers and wipes for the kids.
Oh, you said it right.
I did.
Boo.
Wipes and diapers and wipers.
Yeah, diapers and wipers.
See, now I've corrected myself so hard I can't fuck it up, hopefully. My spending is an average of $333 a month. And Cody's is $144 a month. Now, in my defense, most of the time Cody just overspends on dining out and then says, take it out of my spending money.
Yeah.
Or he'll want to buy something for the house, but we don't have it in the budget. He'll be like, just take it out of my spending money. So all of this gets moved into like fun money or true expenses.
Or Val wants something and I'm like, fuck, I'll go halves on it with you.
Yeah, so that money gets moved out of here. But either way, I was like, we need to have a look at why my spending is so much higher. Because I would also like to save money. Fun money is astronomical. $5.66 a month on average.
It's expensive doing shit with the kids.
Dining out. Our biggest expense was dining out in this category.
Yeah.
True expenses, that was a little over $2,000 a month. That's like clothing, car repairs.
And I feel like that was a little skewed because we had to dump some
Durables.
money into the car recently.
Yeah, and again, we'll show all these breakdowns in a bit here. Holidays were an average of $167 a month. Obviously, the biggest expense out of this $1,500 was Christmas.
Which basically came out to $1,500.
I think it was like $1,200 or something.
Yeah.
And then birthdays, which I'm like, this is really low. Are we sure that's right? $218? But these numbers are not reflective of Cody's birthday, which is in tomorrow.
Yes. As of the time of this
Oh,
recording.
no, I guess it would be reflective of it because you got your gift already.
Yeah.
So anyways. So these highlighted categories are the ones that we're going to dive a little deeper into because they were the most, I feel like, unrealistically high. Like they didn't need to be that high.
They didn't.
So subscriptions, starting with subscriptions. So $440 of this has been canceled already. Not monthly, but like annually. So, you know, chat books, Adobe, Storyblocks, and the Fire
I wish we
tablets.
could save $400 a month. You know how much better our life would be?
You'll see that under miscellaneous subscriptions, a lot of that was like annual grocery service subscriptions, because when Cody's gone, I hate having to go to the grocery store by
It's very hard for her
myself.
to go grocery shopping with two knee-high goblins that are tiny little rage monster barbarians that also coordinate to go in opposite directions.
So I typically get them delivered. So we had a subscription to Instacart, we had a subscription to PC Express, and I think there were like a couple, like there was like a password manager one that we had forgot to cancel that we got charged for.
And like pretty much all of that stuff was things that like had value in our life at one point that we signed up for and then just forgot about. So take that as a, you know, lesson. Go through your own subscription, see what's charging you that you don't use, like, or care about anymore.
Because the thing is I'm always going through like our subscriptions through Apple, like constantly, like I'll make sure I cancel free trials and stuff like that. That's never an issue. But the annual ones that go through the provider directly, I always forget about. If I don't put them in my calendar, I forget about them. So needless to say, I went through all of our transactions that were in the miscellaneous subscription category and I canceled all of them. The only one we kept, I think, was the Instacart one, because that's the one
we do
use the
still
most.
use that one,
So that's it for that one. Living expenses. Now, our coaching company we closed. We spent a little over $2,000 a year on that, so we won't have any of those costs. We closed the website, we closed down the courses, basically everything.
Got rid of all of everything that was that we were
Our
paying to
Kartra
have.
account, yeah. We were like, there's no point. Our hearts are in YouTube. This is what we enjoy doing. So.
Yeah, even when we were like going as hard as we could at the coaching, like we would come back here to like recharge and rejuvenate ourselves so that we could go slog at the shit we hated. So why pay such an astronomical amount every month to go do shit you hate when you can just not do those things?
I didn't hate the life coaching. I enjoyed it a lot more than Cody did. But it was a
I think
huge
that
time
the
commitment.
doing of the coaching would have been enjoyable. The everything else was not my jam.
Diapers and wipes was quite high, but we only have one kid in diapers now. Freya has been potty trained now since August, I think.
Yeah. Which, parent tip, if you're trying to get your kids potty trained, just pull them out of diapers. You often think that like the kid's got to be potty trained and then you pull them out of diapers. No, you got to remove the diapers to create the impetus for them to potty train.
It took us 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days and she was done.
And that was not ours. She came home from daycare one day in underwear instead of a diaper, and the daycare lady was just like, she doesn't wear diapers anymore. Don't put her in diapers. You're not allowed, mom and dad.
Yeah, she was like, no
And
diapers
3 days later,
unless
she was
it's
diaper
overnight.
trained, or potty trained.
Diaper trained. Who's messing up their words now?
Me.
Consumables was also a little high, and I, for the life of me, even going back through the transactions, could not figure why.
What kind of stuff is in there?
Paper towel, toilet paper,
Paper towel's expensive, toilet paper's
Dishwasher
expensive,
tablets.
Everything's fucking expensive, and we use a lot
Oh,
of
I
it.
wonder if maybe some... No, I would have put it on under diapers and wipes. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to keep an eye on this category in 2024, and hopefully it's not as high. Everything else I'm pretty okay with what we spent.
$800 on coffee.
I'm okay
We
with
spent
that.
more on coffee than we did on personal care.
So breaking down my big spending.
Yes.
So $2,100 in the year. And a big chunk of that was a subscription to the Ipsy Glam bag and the Ipsy box or whatever it's called. There's like a bag and then there's a box, which I've canceled. I used to also get my nails done every 4 to 6 weeks, which was like $100 every time I went.
Yeah.
Which
Guys, if there's
haven't-
room in the budget, I highly recommend it. The back scratches are out of this world.
I do love getting my nails done. It was the small thing I could do to pamper myself, but I've stopped doing that. I haven't gone in probably 2 months now, or 3 months or something.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
The back scratches have been lackluster.
Sorry. I did have a subscription to Book of the Month and Kobo. I did actually just cancel Book of the Month because the Kobo books are typically cheaper and I find myself reading more on the Kobo because I always just have it in my purse or like on my nightstand. See, it's just this tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Right now I'm reading Legends and Lattes. It's very cute. I'm enjoying it.
Also, ancillary to Book of the Month is that they give you physical books, which means at some point you need a place to put those physical books, which necessitates the buying of bookshelves.
Yeah, which, don't get me wrong, we like.
Are fantastic.
I've read so many books in the last quarter of the year, and then we went to a used bookstore and bought all the books that I had read on an ebook. I think we saw it in a TikTok. It was like our reading trophies or whatever.
Yeah,
for like
you read the
audiobooks and
ebook
stuff.
and then you buy like a physical trophy of the book you've read so that it'll go on your shelf.
So all our physical books, I don't think we've paid more than $5 for any one book.
There's something charming about going to like the secondhand store or a used bookstore or something.
And then they're already broken in, and you don't feel bad about like breaking the spine and stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Anyways, so.
And then when people just show up, it's not like you spent $5,000 on books and your bookshelf is pristine. They look like you've actually read them.
Yeah. The GeForce Now subscription, both Cody and I wound up canceling ours because with the kids home full time, we don't have time and energy to
I
game.
loved it and I wanted to play Baldur's Gate so bad, but I do not have the bandwidth for it, and also it's kind of scary, so it's not like I can do it while the kids are awake, although Freya does like to play Halo with me.
Scary and highly inappropriate with some of that.
So inappropriate.
It's so much fun though.
Like half of it is basically porn. It's great.
Yeah. And then Chatbooks was a photo book subscription service, which I absolutely love, and we have a lot of chatbooks, but it's a want, not a need, and I want to spend my money on other things like the Hobonichi, which I love, and I have one of them right here. And don't judge me. Actually, you can totally judge me. I have 3 Hobonichi weeks and a Hobonichi cousin. All of my planner nerd girlies will probably know what that is for 2024, and I'm loving them so far.
Yeah, and
Use
for
them
any
every
of the
day.
guys who have a planner nerd girly, you know that was roughly a $300 purchase on a planner with blank pages.
No, that one has actual
Dots.
pages in it. No, look. See, there's stuff in here. There's pre-done calendars. There's weekly printouts. There's blank pages. It's fine. It's fine. It's my guilt for spending money. Cody doesn't actually judge me. He's giving me a hard time for the video.
Entertainment value.
Yeah. Okay, so fun money. Dining out, $3,851.
A year?
Yeah. But remember, this is over like 8 months. Or 9 months or something. So I think
Still,
it
we
was...
used to do that in a month and a half.
I know. It was over $400 a month, I think is what the average was. Our goal for next year...
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but I think it's like $180 a month or...
Yeah. Well, with the kids, like
$200
a lot of the dining out, though, was giant McDonald's trips on the way to the airport because the kids were in daycare all day and just the way the timing worked out. So with the kids not being in daycare, we can do that a little better and just bring shit for the road.
Yeah.
Because those little goblins don't eat anyway, and they just throw stuff all over the place, so they may as well do that with like $3 worth of crackers instead of $18 worth of McDonald's.
Exactly. Family fun was $687. That was things like indoor playgrounds, going swimming, like the Christmas light show that we just went to. And we actually want to increase that for next year because now the kids are home full time, so they're not doing things and getting the same kind of activities in daycare anymore. So we have to provide that for them now. You love me.
Yes, I love you.
Entertainment, $460. This was originally just a subscription to Landmark Cinemas where we get like
It's a subscription to a movie theater, basically, where you get like one ticket a month, but there's not always good movies playing, so we just kind of keep it on in the background.
And sometimes we like gift them to friends. Like
Yeah.
I gifted 2 tickets to my best friend and her husband for her birthday, or we'll use them for a date night, and it's like $10 a month, and plus you get discounts on the food and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's fine. And then we also use it for games. We're buying and renting movies at home, which has been fun.
Like Super Mario Odyssey that the kids think is adorable.
And then hosting was kind of a new category that we added in towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because
we like
love
having
to
people
host.
over and treating our friends and having like gatherings and doing like little dinner parties and stuff. So we want to do that more in the coming year.
Yeah, so that'll be for like food for the barbecues and like drinks when people come over and just, hosting. We like to host. Okay. True expenses were astronomically high, an average of $2,093 a month. Why?
Oh yeah, it says that down at the bottom. Because we spend irresponsibly on everything.
Car maintenance was really high.
Yeah.
What did we get done on the car again?
I don't remember. It was expensive. There was a lot of it. Or did we not do that?
No, we did. There was a stabilizer link, a bushing that was
like
torn.
the actual work we had to do. Yeah, the car had some shit wrong with it that was like becoming a mechanical safety issue. So we got that fixed.
We had to do the front and rear differential fluids.
Yeah.
And then like your regular maintenance of like an engine flush and oil changes and all that stuff.
Yeah, the car's getting to that point in its life cycle where like it's still running good and it's fine and it'll still last us for many years, but like a lot of the expensive regular maintenance is starting to come up.
Like in the next year or two, we'll probably have to get new tires and do the brakes. And our sunroof is broken.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't see
That's
that
going to be
video.
about $500 to fix.
The heated seat on the driver's side is broken.
Going to be about $500 to fix.
Nothing like, I mean, mechanically right now it's sound.
Yes, mechanically it is
just,
sound, it is fine, it's a safe vehicle, but like the 2 best features don't work and I'm kind of just pissed about the whole situation.
Yeah. Clothing seemed a little high. This was all of our clothing.
We spend a lot on the kids though.
We do. So I've actually split out the kids' clothing for this year. That way we could actually see what are we spending. And we buy a lot of their clothes used. I would say like 90% of my clothes this year was hand-me-downs that I got from friends. But I did buy some pants and stuff towards the end of the year, a winter jacket, which is fairly expensive. And then we all had to buy clothes for a funeral that we went to last month, and that was also kind of expensive.
Yeah. Which, fun fact, if there's any of you that have to do last-minute shopping for fancy events, apparently Walmart no longer sells, like, dress shirts and junk. So that was a pain.
Durables was also high, but that, again, is because we moved. So we needed some stuff for the house. These were things like to fix a lawnmower, some miscellaneous like appliances for the house, shoe storage, just like the little things that you have when you have to move. We had to buy some chairs for the kids so that they could sit at the table. It's just little things, but they add up. Evidently, $300.
Death of 1,000 cuts.
And we would like to save for a new couch next year or the year after.
We would, because our couch is fantastic, wonderful. It's like a 3rd generation hand-me-down, like great-grandfather's couch that everybody had in their living room. Is fantastic and so comfortable.
It's been reupholstered already at least once. It's like super solid. They don't make them like this anymore. But they still smell of smoke despite us having had them professionally cleaned once already. I mean, they're probably 40 years old.
I would think so, yeah.
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, couches are older than I am. And they're still in great shape, but...
It would be nice to have something a little more conducive to like family
snuggling
time.
and watching movies.
Yeah, it's more like a formal sitting room style couch. Anyway, so there's that. Gifts I'm not worried about. Home maintenance, we expected that to go up with buying furnace filters and grass seed.
Which reminds me, we
ice
still
melt.
need a furnace filter.
I mean, we have technically these ones work. Technically, but the next ones we get, we will buy the right size. We have the wrong size for our furnace.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, because they only come in like 16 by 25 or 20 by 25. I cannot find 18 by 25.
Yeah, well, the one we got in there's only been in there for a couple of weeks. But
Kids Fund was really high, and it was mainly just toys. We did buy a new...
We do need to
Did we
clamp
buy
down
that
on
stroller last year? Or was it the year before that?
We bought it last year.
Oh, okay, so that's probably... Because the stroller would have gone into the Kids Fund, too.
Yeah, we do need to... Maybe not
toys.
tone back on the toys, but I want to get away from, like, all the loud, piecemeal, little garbagey, make a mess everywhere toys and get the kids, like, swings and balance beams and shit to climb on and stuff like that.
Yes, I agree.
Create like a play place versus clutter in a place.
Other things that went into... Actually, I don't know if it went into kids' fund or durables, but we bought both the kids' beds. Both of them were used beds. Same with the mattresses, although Gunnar we did wind up having to buy a new mattress for. But that was still like, I think between the beds and the mattresses and the bedding, it was like $500 or something.
Yeah.
Medical dental, that was high, but we also had a miscarriage this year and an unexpected ambulance ride.
And then another unexpected ambulance call.
Yeah, well, the call first and then the ride. Anyways, so yeah, our medical expenses were quite high.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
Shit happens, yeah.
Hey, 11/11, make a wish.
Yeah, small life improvements, vehicle registration, that was fine. Big purchases, $7,300, an average of $800 a month. That was, we bought new phones, we bought a TV, we bought an Xbox, we bought HomePods, we bought an Apple TV. I don't know what else is in there.
All things that we're not doing next year.
All things we're not doing next year, that's right. We're like very committed to the reining in of the spending.
Yeah.
So our 4 largest spending categories for 2023 was bills, coming in at 28%, which I feel like is not terrible.
Yeah, I feel like that's about what it's like supposed to be, I guess.
Well, considering our rent is included in that.
Yeah.
Right? And they tell you your rent should be 25 to 30%.
Oh, that includes the rent too? Shit, that's downright reasonable.
Yeah. True expenses, 22%. That was the durables, the clothing, the car maintenance. That to me seems a little high. I'd like to see that number next year at like 15% or less, between 10 and 15%. Living expenses, 21%. That was groceries, gas.
But also I bought like pants and stuff this year and shoes, so I should be good for next year.
Living expenses, same thing. I'd like to see that like under 20%, 15 to 20%. And then debt payments, 10%.
I would like to see that go up.
I'm good with that. I would like to see it go up. If we could do more, that would be great.
It's weird seeing that we did like 10% towards debt payments because I feel like we weren't doing anywhere near that. Does that include like the regular minimum payments?
That's our regular minimum payments,
yeah. I'm less impressed then.
So ideally we would see that up to like 15 to 20% for next year. So quality of life categories, things we spent money on that add value to our life that we don't necessarily want to cut out. So dining out is one that we do want to cut back on.
Yeah,
but as Cody said, we'd cut back on things like fast food and instead spend time at like sit-down restaurants that create memories with the kids.
Yeah, because like BP's is one of the kids' favorite places, and they pretty much only get chicken fingers and fries, but they like to color and hang out and like be out with mom and dad, and it's like a little adventure. And
they love being able to order and say thank you for their food. And
yeah, they are very excited to tell the waiter and or waitress thank you. Except for Gunnar, he very rarely says thank you. He'll say thanks.
Yeah.
And he's just so proud of himself.
Family fun is something that we want to actually put more money into. That again is play places, family activities, museums, art.
Yeah, because like Val and I by default are very much like homebody, hunker down, curl up, batten down the hatches kind of thing, and the kids are bored.
Entertainment is also something that we want to continue to spend money on. Not recklessly, but games, movies, renting movies.
Things we enjoy, because like I'm a firm believer that the upfront expense of like a console and a couple of good games can help you save money on entertainment in the long run, because like heck, when I first moved out of home I spent like $800 on a TV, an Xbox, and Skyrim, and I played that game for like 12 years.
And then durables, so typically things that add value to our everyday life and home but could be scaled back a bit. So things like the chairs for the kids, or a coffee table, or like our coffee pot, the shoe storage. But I think that we'll tweak it in like, we'll ask ourselves first, like, do we have something here already that we could make work? Do we have a friend or a family member who's looking to get rid of it? Like, we need a dresser for Freya. We have friends who are like family, who have a dresser they want to sell. So we could probably get that pretty cheap if we can figure out how to get it here. And if not, can we get it used off Facebook Marketplace or a flea market or something like that? Yeah,
is it something we have to buy new? And if it is, it's like Is it something that we're buying cheap just to fill the void, and we're going to have to buy it again and again and again and again because it keeps breaking because we're buying cheap? Or can we buy something a little better quality and be like intentional about the purchase, and then it'll last for a while?
Yeah.
Because that's something of a mindset shift Val and I got to make, because we've been apartment people for the bulk of our life, and we've moved a lot. So we typically just buy cheap because it needs to, it needs to make it to the end of the lease, and then we'll just trash it and buy something new when we move to kind of fit the space we're in. So we need to start taking more of a longer view and buying for value versus cost.
Yeah, because the first apartment we moved into when we left the RV living, because we got pregnant with Freya, we moved back into the city and we had to furnish a whole apartment, and I did it for under $2,600. That was a bed frame, dresser, end tables, coffee table, TV stand, couch, dishware stuff. Like, that was literally everything.
All the trappings of urban life.
Yeah. But still, like, can you imagine doing an entire household furnishing for $2,600? Like, you can imagine how cheap some of that stuff was. I think our first coffee table was like $40.
Yeah.
From IKEA.
And it lasted about $40.
No, actually, that's the one that we had, and then we gave to our friends, and then they gave back to us, and then it was, I think we just threw it out.
Oh shit, she gets around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or it might be in the basement.
No.
We still have the end table, the one that plant is on.
Right, yeah.
It's like a $20 end table. Actually, I think it's more now.
That was a $10 end table. I remember that.
But yeah.
The price made me very happy. The quality sketched me out, but apparently it lasts.
Yeah, I mean, I would say,
she just keeps on trucking.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's great quality, and it doesn't look that nice, but like it's there and it's holding a plant. So
yeah, it does the job.
We got our money's worth out of it.
The kids have climbed on it more than once.
So now I think we can move into our 2024 budget in YNAB, so you guys can see how we set it up.
Ooh.
So our first category now.
I've seen this before. I'm very well acquainted with it, but I'm going to be playing the part of someone who's never seen it before, so that it's like you guys are here and you can ask the questions you want to.
So we used to have the pay yourself first at the top, if you'll remember. We've scrapped that because we're focusing entirely on debt.
Yeah.
And again, we'll do a separate video on the debt payment plan, but...
Which, as an aside, for those of you that have been here for a while, you're probably thinking like, wait, you guys always say to be sustainable. And the reason for that we're going to go into more in depth in another video, but we've seen that we're at the point in our debt payoff journey where it could be a sprint to finish. So we're going to sprint.
Yeah, we're going to sprint for the finish line. So we have our consumer proposal, our car payment, Bell bill, which is cell phone contract that we got out of, and then our debt snowball payment that we want to make every month. Savings, we don't actually have a regular monthly goal for this, but $3,000 eventually we would like to save up.
Yeah.
So that if Cody is sick, when he's sick, he misses an entire shift because it's fly in, fly out. And that is half of our monthly take-home pay because there's only 2 shifts a month.
Well, it depends when I get sick. If I get sick at work, it could potentially just be a day or 2 missed, which is still a big kick in the paycheck.
It's about $450 a day that he doesn't go take-home.
Yeah.
$450 a day take-home.
Golden handcuffs.
So ideally, we'd like to have like a whole paycheck set aside. That way, if he's sick, we're not stressing and Cody's not trying to force himself to work. On top of also trying to get a month ahead and paying down our debt.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get to this until the end of the year, probably.
Yeah, it's going to take a minute.
Then we have like our regular bills and our subscriptions. And then our living expenses. So last year we spent an average of $1,100 a month on groceries. This year we're going to try and average $800, which is a huge jump, but we're going to try it. I'm cooking at home a lot more.
Yeah.
Personal care, a lot of this stuff all stayed the same. Gas, I think most of last year we spent an average of $280 to $300 a month, but with the kids out of daycare we do a lot less driving, so $200 a month is what we've dropped it down to.
Last week that I was going to work, Val didn't drive at all. Like, she drove me to the airport and drove home.
And I drove to the grocery store once.
Yeah.
That was it. Then we separated out the kids category because we wanted to see how much the kids were costing us. So we've got $20 a month.
That sounds bad.
It does. $20 a month for childcare, because again, the kids aren't in daycare anymore, but we can send them both for a full day for about $120, or maybe we hire a babysitter, so we can kind of just chuck money in there. If we want to do a date night once a quarter or something, we can.
Or like if one of our friends watches the kids for us or something like that, we can kick them a little money for gas or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Kids clothing, $30 a month. Again, most of their stuff we buy used. Sometimes we'll buy something new, but generally we go to secondhand stores or we get hand-me-downs from friends. We pass a lot of used clothes between all of our friend group.
Yeah, we got a big friend group right now where everybody's having kids and it's just going around and around. It's great.
Yeah. Because kids grow out of it so fast. I don't see the point in spending.
Why pay $30 on a pair of shoes that the kid is going to wear for like 20 minutes and then grow out of?
Exactly. Diapers and wipes, $65. That's about the average that we'll spend for Gunner. Toys, $25 a month. Again, we're thinking that's more like a sinking fund where we'll let it build up or add to it and then buy like bigger toys, high quality toys, climbing toys, that kind of thing.
Some of the toys we're hoping for the new year is like some stride bikes for the kids by summer, some climbing stuff, things to promote activity and play versus clutter in the space that the kids are mostly overwhelmed by anyway.
Spending money, we used to take a percentage of everything that we took home. Now we're just doing $120 a month. That's it. And that will be an adjustment because I think before we got an average of like $250 to $300 a month. But again, we want to sprint to being debt free.
Yeah.
Because if you'll see up here, all of our debt payments are almost $1,300 a month. So it would be really nice to get all that money back.
To not have that and use it to save for a new car or a second car or
retirement or a family trip or any number of other things.
Something besides just not dying.
Yes. So we both get $120 a month for our spending money. Dining out. So this has come down to $45 a week. So $180 a month. That's like less than half of what we spent on average last year. I think this will be a stretch. I think by the end of the quarter, we'll probably have to readjust it and plan accordingly, but this is our starting goal. Yeah.
That's the thing. You can't course correct a ship until it's underway. So
entertainment we're leaving in there, but we did take it down to $40. I think before it was like $80. So we slashed that in half. But we did add in a date night because we didn't have a category for that before. Hosting we left in here, $20 a month. Family we left in here, $40 a month. Again, they were higher in last year's budget, but we're trying to cut back and sprint after debt freedom.
Man, I just can't stop yawning. I might have to break up the coffee before the next video.
It is like 9 o'clock. Okay, so now we're planning for our annual credit card fee, car maintenance, which again, this should probably be more, but we're going to start with that and see where we end up. Clothing for Cody and I, durables, gifts, home maintenance, all of this is kind of the same. $100 a month still going towards our emergency fund or the shit happens category. Planning for the holidays. So we've gotten here, we want $40 for Easter, $60 for Thanksgiving, which is usually food. $100 for Halloween, which is decorations, costumes, and candy.
Yeah.
And $800 for Christmas, which ideally this would be like $1,200 to $1,500. However, I think we'll leave it as $800, but if we're debt free, when we think we're going to be debt free, we will have the extra money come December to pay it off. Saving for birthdays, again, we took that down, so $60 each for Cody and I, $50 each for the kids. And then that's it. Our credit card gets paid off in full every month because we are free of credit card debt. We paid off the credit card November of 2023. So
yay.
It's kind of how things are set up in here. Very similar to how we had it last year with the exception of breaking out the kids stuff, adjusting some of our sinking funds and fund money, and then changing the pay yourself first to just the debt payments.
Yeah, so there's that.
That's it.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, if you like it, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it twice. That part's very important. It does wonderful things for the algorithm. And yeah, thanks for coming along. We love you guys very much. We'll see you on the next one. And is it payday yet?
Bye.
Bye.